My live? Okay, I am live. Okay, so good evening, everybody. Beautiful. Good evening. Let me make sure that my sound is working. Can I get some feedback in the chat? Good evening. How was your week? How's your day been? Let me know if you're out there. If you can hear me very clearly. Okay. So tonight what I want to do is, first of all, you're welcome to our weekly performance review. So what I want to do is I want to go over some of my personal results for the past few weeks. And then, okay, beautiful, loud and clear. I don't know, network has been quite terrible this week. Have you also experienced it? Like it's been crazy. It's been crazy for the past, I think since yesterday majorly, or maybe for the past couple days. But anyway, we'll make the best of this and then we'll see how far we can go. So what I want to do, I hope you can see my screen very well. Today I want to look at something okay, two things. First of all, I mentioned on the group last last week, I mentioned on the group last week that we should take time to go over our reports for the past few weeks. Right. How many times? MTN. So we should take time to go over our results and our reports for the past few weeks. And I've also done the same, right? Or let me say, I want to do the same on this call. So what I want us to do is let's look at, for me, the past one, two, no. How many is this? This is the past 10 weeks, which is about 3 months now. That's about 3 months, right? Is that 3 months? Yes, since November. So I want to look at, yeah, Vinny. So I want to look at the results that I've had, the weekly reports that I've given, and then what issues have I had, and am I making progress, or what level of progress am I making in terms of getting better with my trading, in terms of, you know, um executing better, performing better. Now this week, okay, give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. Okay, so this should be better now. All right, so this week a I had a professional exam that I had to do. I've been preparing for it for a while, and it's in fact, it's likely it's been a thing that has occupied my mind a lot, and it's not impossible it could have had some impact on my trading performance. Even particularly yesterday, especially yesterday. You're seeing blank screen. Yeah, that just happens when I go into the software to just check. Wow, a lot of frames are getting dropped. Let me try and sort out. You can see now. Okay, it will go in and out. Sorry, but let me try and sort out something very quickly. It looks like on the technical side, I want to just make sure that we're having the best experience. Is it getting a lot of frames are getting dropped? Ooh, network, network. How do we do this now? Let me see. Ooh, if I switch network, it's going to be worse. Okay, let's do this. You guys should just give me a minute. Let me see if I can take care of something technical on the back end. Okay. If you can hear me, let me know. What I'm seeing here, I'm having a lot of um I'm having a lot of frames dropped, so I'm not too connection is good. Right. I'm not too sure if the connection is good. But if it is, let me know. Right. Maybe I might have to find a way to reduce the load. Youch. You can hear. Okay, since you can hear, let's just keep going. If the stream cuts out at any point, then maybe I might just have to find a way to go again. So what I want to do is I want to look at my results for the past few weeks. Right. I think I've belabored that point. And I could also check for a couple of us that are on the call, and especially for those of us that have been consistently having this report field. So here it is. I said, so how many trades did you take during the week? This is November. This is November. There were 5 Saturdays in November. Is this yeah. This is December. I think we just did a couple in December, then January, then February. That means some I can't see a couple of Saturdays in. Maybe some are not grouped like that. I think some are not grouped properly. Let me check. 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 Okay. I think the thing misplaced a couple. Okay. Let me move this down because this was an automatic sorting. Where are we? Yeah, right here. So this is even October. Away. Your group by is out of sync. Leave it. Just leave it the way it is. Okay, I did an automatic sorting, so I'm not sure it captured every single one. Any which way, I want to look at from this let me put it here. Hey way. Sorry guys, sorry guys. Just hold on. Does that work? Okay, that works. To look at this now, I want to see in terms of the numbers of trades that have been taken. In terms of the numbers of trades that have been taken, 3, 6, 4, 2, 5, 5. I think I've done well in this over the past 6 months, because when you think about, yeah, but it didn't, the way the sorting worked out, it looks like some. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Chukudi. So it looks like I've generally been consistent when it comes to number of trades in a week. I haven't gone beyond I haven't gone beyond five. I went beyond five one time here. But in fact, even these five were too much. There are too many. But most of the time it's been 2 trades, 3 trades, one trade, 2 trades. This week I took 2 trades. In terms of results, which is not principally what we're looking at, but we just use it to grade perhaps where we are at. Minus 3R. Here I had 4R for the week, minus 3.5R, minus 0/2R. I'm not sure what exactly I was looking at here. 1R, minus 1R, 4R, minus 3, 1.5, minus 1, minus 2R. So a lot of negative weeks over the past 3 months. A lot of negative weeks, or a number of negative weeks. No problem. The important thing is that we stay consistent with our plan, and when we discover that we are being inconsistent, we find a way to reorient ourselves. So I want to look at some of the trades that I've taken that have really made sense. Let me see. And I was talking about something on the group this week. The fact that, look, we might not understand the beauty of keeping records, or the beauty of of you know journaling until you go back and look at what you have recorded. Go back and look at what you have the all the go back and look at all the journal entries that you have. Look at your progress over the past few months, over the past few weeks. Then you realize that you're actually making more progress than you think, even if it's not translating in terms of the results or the money that you want to see. Right. So, and I looked at, I shared this week how I had a call with Isaac, and it was a fantastic call where we didn't even talk too much before my eyes opened to the fact that, oh, there's something I've been considering as optional, which was having an inducement for entries. And then I realized, because of that, I took a loss yesterday. And then I realized that, oh, you know, having yeah, by the way, if you guys can just chat on the group, because I can't see the group now. If you can just chat on the group and just tell them that the call is underway and anybody that's available should join. So I was I had to look through all my, you know, all my records, and I realized that instead of treating inducement as optional, if I treat it as compulsory, the statistics align with that point of view. Just treat it as compulsory. I'm just like, if I have to take a trade, there has to be inducement liquidity there, because I checked through like almost 100 trades. Only four of them did not have inducement. So that understanding was only made possible because I was able to check through my records, check through my results, records for of both trades I've taken and then trades I've just observed and journaled and studied. And we're talking today about how maybe we can look into how to journal or how to record your trades. Like I've said before, it's all about what works for you. So different people will have different things they do and different things they use. But you have to ask yourself, what works for me? What is going to work for me? And then it's not just about making records. It's not just about keeping records. It's also about consulting those records, which is why I'm doing what I'm doing today. It's also about consulting those records from time to time. You have to ask yourself what I have recorded. Because it's not enough to record it. What I have recorded, how often do I go back, review, check what's happening, check my progress? It doesn't have to be very often, but at least it has to be often enough that maybe every quarter, for instance, you have a review of what exactly it is that you're doing right, what exactly it is that you're doing wrong. Based on your records should be able to tell you that. So I'm looking at this trade here was beautiful. As soon as you entered, momentum kicked in, came back for this inducement, came back to tap this QMR here, and then still went up. Um, that was when? That was in October. Okay, that was a nice trade. Let me take a look at this one. Let me take a look at this one. I just want to get a general idea. Okay. Okay. 4 hour reject, 30 minutes engulfing with inducement, palm, and then it goes up. Okay, I think this was yeah, I took this trade, but I didn't come out with like the full I didn't take full advantage of the trade because maybe there was news or something like that. Or did I? Okay, I did. I did. 4 hour. Oh, maybe I didn't. Anyway, we'll look at that. Let me see this one. Let me just open some of them down. Looks like most of them are just 111. And what you realize is that for me, one of the major lessons I learned last year is like Fourth will say, if you are day trading, it doesn't mean you must trade every day. In fact, it can be detrimental for you if you find yourself trading every day or you find yourself trading frequently. It can be very, very detrimental. What you need to do is you want to look for you've already done your back testing, you've already identified what you consider to be a high probability setup. So what you want to look at is, do I have something that is high probability? If something is high probability, it can't happen very often. It's rare that it will happen every day, especially if you're trading on the 15 minute, 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hour. It's rare that you will see that setup play out every day on just a couple of pairs. There will be weeks, and I've seen some weeks where maybe there are like two, three setups, high probability setups in a week on one single pair. Yeah. But generally, it doesn't just play out every single day or every single week that you have many. And if you're just focusing on a few pairs, most likely in a week to be profitable, you don't need to take more than one or two trades. One or two trades. For me, 1 to 3 trades in a week, I'm fine. If they are all losses, I'm fine. If they are wins, I'm good. In fact, the first win generally might just make me want to stay out of the market for the rest of the week because I don't want to make money and then give it back. So this one, 4 hour reject and close below, 1 hour engulfing, inducement, bam, take your entry. Um, let me see. This trade was a okay inducement here, and then there was a 4 hour key level. I took this sell from. This was NZD USD. Yeah, this was beautiful. This is very beautiful. This one there was inducement. So I'm also using this to confirm that yeah, this one was beautiful as well. Okay. All right. So I've looked at the setup. So what did I do well? What have I been doing well consistently? I stopped trading when I hit my weekly loss limit. This I still struggled with this for a while. It's 6 trades. Sometimes I still placed 5 trades. But at least over the past couple of months, I haven't been trading more than taking more than 3 trades a week. Okay. So I stopped trading when I hit my weekly loss limit. What's going on? Hit my weekly loss limit. If you're still with me in the chat, just let me know, please. Live stream offline. Why would the live stream be offline? If you're still with me, let me know. Woo! Today's network no be here. Hey, today's network no be here. It's loading, it's loading, it's loading. Okay. Um I can't even get feedback right now as to whether I'm online or not. Let me see. Okay. Okay, you guys are here. Sorry, I had to try and refresh. Screen is black. Okay. Thank you so much for the feedback. I had to try and refresh where I'm monitoring it from so that I can see. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. So I stopped trading when I hit my weekly loss limit. Okay. I had stability in my environment and workspace conditions. I caught myself sleeping on one of my rules and corrected myself. I was selective in my trades. Okay. Not taking more than number of trades I'm supposed to take, being patient. I traded less, was on the charts less. I got bias right, followed my rules well instead of trading intuitively. So trading intuitively is one of the things I've struggled. I struggled with a lot last year, middle of last year. I really really struggled with just wanting to take trades because I feel like price is going to go up or something like that. I really really struggled with it last year, but I think I've gotten a grasp of that now. So this particular week I performed poorly on Thursday, but then I quickly got myself back together. On this week, I stayed within my self-imposed max loss slash trade limits. I stopped trading. Okay, this week was a good one because I now stopped trading when I was up significantly. There was a particular week where I was up, I think 4 hour on Tuesday, and then after that, I started going down, like in my P&L. So I'm like, okay, that can continue. And I think I identified it in one of these one of these sessions. So I stopped trading after taking 3 losses, waited patiently, low trade frequency, got busy. So generally, it looks like I've progressed in terms of more patience, in terms of waiting for setups, in terms of um not over trading, not trading intuitively. I've improved in that sense. Okay, so what are the challenges I've been facing, and have I improved up till now, or how have I improved? Tunnel vision in terms of bias. Okay, taking a non-confirmation setup early in the week, not trailing my stop appropriately on one of my setups. And I said I missed a trade because I thought price wouldn't get to my entry before news, which I can't trade. So I can't trade news. So I just felt there's no point having a setup before news. But I think that particular week, what happened was there was news, and then this setup played out within an hour. Maybe it was like 4 or 5 hours or something. Maybe news was 1:30. Yeah, news was 1:30 then. And this setup played out between 12. It wasn't close to 12:30. Between 12:30 and 1, it played out. And I was like, wow, okay, the market can just do anything. So I need to be in the market before news. If my setup triggers before news, I can't be there. And then if I'm not in the market, usually an hour before news, I don't like to be in the market again. But sometimes you have those quick moves that happen, and I think they happened in quick succession on NZD USD at the end of towards the end of last year. Where we had massive, there'll be some very nice moves before news, and then news will come and do its thing. you know so it's just about understanding what the market is giving, and then studying and finding out how to utilize whatever it is that you're seeing the market give you. Okay, we move on. So what I discovered this week, what I saw this week, was that news was not allowing me to capitalize on my trading. I've been trading with GFT, which the account I was trading, because of the time where I bought it, they had news restrictions on the account, which is still the account I'm trading. No problem. I might get another one depending on how the next few weeks goes. But I'm really looking at getting another one, another account with GFT, since they seem to have regained some balance. Um, so if I'm able to get another account, that account will not have news restrictions, and I think that's important for me. Although I generally will not trade news, but sometimes you see situations where um you're quite sure, not sure, but you feel like probability is on your side that um even a news movement might favor you or just not be very volatile. So if that's the case, I would like to be present for some of those moves. They are very few and far between, and I don't like to trust myself with news. But it's also important to give yourself the option to have that open. So I had distractions on this particular week. I couldn't really focus on my trading. Um, all right, staying off the charts after I was done trading was a challenge. It's not a challenge right now. Um, so I was able to enter the beginning of a move and I couldn't capitalize on the continuation. Made my SL too wide. I didn't follow my trading stop strategy. Okay, so I had challenge with reading the market technically most recently, and that's that's also what I would say I've battled a bit this week. Although I was now able to get, you see, because I've been reviewing my performance, and because I know my danger zone in terms of drawdown, right? I know when I have a certain level of drawdown on my account, I can tell at what point I begin to say, okay, I might be facing an issue technically. I might not be seeing something correctly, right? And for me, generally, um that's around -6 hour. So if I'm down, 5, 6 losses in a row, then I can begin to say, okay, do I need to really recheck my technicals? Do I need to really rebalance in terms of what I know and what I'm how I'm looking at the market on a technical from a technical standpoint. Okay, so what major area have I performed poorly over time? It's been bias, trailing my stop properly, identifying bias. Please let me know if I'm still live. Identifying bias. There was a point where I had execution issues. Let's see, execution issues, and then there was a point where I traded a pair that was not part of my pairs, which didn't allow me to capitalize on a move on NZD USD. Okay, thank you so much. So I didn't pay very close attention to higher time frame structure, trade management. I didn't capitalize on continuation setups well enough. I counter trended and then focus. So I think right now the thing I might still be trying to get a grip on is bias. And then what I realized yesterday by the time I reviewed some things that, oh wait, I don't have my current trading plan. So what I decided to do was redo my trading plan, eliminate some things on my trading plan that have kind of added a bit of complexity for me, and then go back to the most simple things I have there, which is my origin setup. Continuations, I would take continuations, but only when they present themselves very optimally, which usually for me is after an origin setup. So um I went back to the drawing board, printed I made sure I printed my trading plan again afresh, laminated it, I have it on my desk. So since I have something there written to help me with bias, right? If I can consult it every time I want to trade, then I'm sure I'll be able to take better trades going forward. And I won't take trades that I will say, I should have taken this trade, by the time the trade hits SL. Of course, if you use TP, you will never think you shouldn't have taken the trade. Right. So being stuck on a bias, um, yeah, I had this overnight trade back then that already done 3R, was reversing. I think this has happened to me twice. Reading my opinion into the market sometimes. Yeah, I thought I should try USD card. Sometimes you see people posting results. You see people posting, sometimes people send you charts or they post setups in the group, and then you're like, oh my, this is good. But here's the thing, right? When you have built familiarity, when you have built like a relationship with certain pairs, realize that you are your pair that you have studied is a part of your edge. Every pair has a character. And when you are in the initial stages of learning, when you're trying to find your feet in terms of your edge, it's best to stick with pairs where you have studied their character. I know GPP USD, I know NZD USD. Those guys, I know them very well, right? I know Odd USD a bit, and I don't really like its character in terms of how I trade. I know Euro USD, and for Euro USD, generally from what I've seen, the correlation with NZD USD is very high, and it's like a mix of GU and NU. So I'm like, okay, I would just trade NU instead. So it's best to remember when we're trading that this thing is an individual sport. Work with the thing that you know works. If something works for you, then make it work for yourself. Don't just follow, oh, this person is doing this, or this person sent me this chart I think is nice, let me take the trade. If you take the trade and it ends up being a winning trade, you might feel good, but you have done something bad because you have trained yourself in the habit of trading outside of your trading plan and trading focus and your area of strength. So what are the bad habits that I need to improve on, that I needed to improve on over the if you're just joining us and you're not really sure what we're doing, I'm looking at my form for the past few weeks, my results for the past few weeks, right, in terms of my performance, and I'm trying to say, like, what's been common. Are there things I still need to deal with? Are there things I've overcome? How far have I come? So it's just a review. So I was looking at bad trading habits that I've generally exhibited over the past few months. Taking a setup I shouldn't, constantly watching my trade, predicting price moves. So this must have been in November. Yeah, okay. This one, this is a bit of a story. What did I say? On Friday, I wanted to take buys. I set limits for NZD, USD, but as I wanted to set limits for GU, price tanked past my buy entry. This put me in a bit of a panic mode. Okay, which I was able to control a bit, but not totally. All right, so I panicked. Second guessing entries. This is very terrible. Sometimes you have an entry and you are just second guessing it, but second guessing entries. Hesitation to take setup. So I had a period where I was really hesitant to take setups. Took more trades than I should have taken. I think I've gotten past this. Didn't stick to my plan to only trade NU on my main account. Okay. Didn't follow my plan to preserve floating profits. So I had a bit of an issue in January, with just sticking to one pair because it looked like opportunities were not very constant on that pair. And then in trailing my profits, trading my stop loss to preserve floating profits. So last week I said I need to ensure I consult my trading plan properly before placing trades. And I did not do that this week, which cost me a bit. So now I've made sure that, because for some reason I couldn't print my trading plan again. So I've printed it now. It's on my desk. It's laminated. I'm going to be looking at it very detailedly before I take any other trade. And that's why it's good to review these things, because look, you don't want to be battling the same thing week in, week out without actually making any progress. So the point of this form is not just to feel it, it's to introspect, feel it, and then actually come back to the things that you feel after some time and say, really, how well have I been doing? And what have I improved? What has not improved? And I need to concentrate on. Right. So, all right. So I think that's a good one for now. Let me see. Let's review this week's performance. Let's review this week's performance. I'll go over, and then maybe I could now come back and review whoever is on the call that has been consistent with filling this form. I could come back and review their long-term performance or their quarterly performance by the time we're done with this side. Okay, so we're starting from 92. Let me refresh this. We're starting from here. Okay, this is me meals. How many trades you take this week? You took 5 trades. Net result was 0. That means you can't. Who is this? You can't have a net result of 0 and then you say all your trades were losses. So if you took 5 losses, what you have here is -5 R. It's not 0, right? Unless you're not communicating something clearly there. So what were the key challenges you faced? You had a lot of missed entries. What area did you perform poorly? Bias. You didn't follow bias. You FOMOed. So you're giving yourself a 3. Okay. Any suggestions for improvement? You say none. Or you focus on improving, following your bias and waiting, backtest your trading plan. So meals, I don't know if you're on the call, but when it comes to number one, FOMO is a very dangerous, is a dangerous habit. You need to get yourself into a space where you have clear reasons to engage in the market. Very clear reasons. This and this and this is what I'm saying. And then you're going to engage in the market. When it comes to bias, I have something on my trading plan here where I say this is what I wrote. I wrote determine bias, monthly tap reject and close above or below, weekly tap reject and close above or below, daily breakout in alignment with weekly. or monthly. So ideally you want monthly, weekly, and daily to be in alignment, or at least weekly, daily, and 4 hours to be in alignment. And if all the three are not necessarily fully in alignment, at least you want your 4 hour to be aligned with either your daily or your weekly. So generally you want to go in the direction of the most recent 4 hour breakout, but still within the larger context of the weekly or slash and the daily time frame bias. I know that's concise, but I hope it works. I hope it does something for you guys. All right, let's move on to the next person. Limitless Berry. How many trades you take? You took 5 trades. Net result -5 hour. Okay. What did you what did you do well this week? If you guys are still in the chat, please just engage me. TT. Let me know. Be I say that you they now you they give me ginger for this chat. Let me know if you guys are there. Chukudi, Kingsley, are you guys available? Vinny. Um, what were the key challenges you faced? So you say you didn't do any Limitless Berry, you say you didn't do anything well this week. Okay. We can do okay, nice. I see you guys in chat. So we can do better next week. We can do better next week. What were the key challenges you faced? Impatience and fear. What way did you perform poorly? Bias building. You didn't trust your own thought process. You had impatience. Okay. Any suggestions for improvement? You want to practice patience and trust your analysis. You want to focus on improving framing bias. How do you plan to do this study? Yeah, I think at the end of the day, it looks like bias might be the biggest issue most of us have, and that's normal. But one of the simplest ways to just help with bias is follow the most recent 4 hour breakout in line with the general in line with the general trend or general bias of the daily of the 4. So when you see your weekly reject close below or reject and start moving in an opposite direction or take out the previous weekly high or previous weekly low, you want to look for a sweep and break either on the 4 hour or on the daily. Okay, Kingsley, I think you have not traded for like 2 weeks now. I guess you've probably been busy doing other stuff, right? You believe you're back now. Okay. What I would encourage you to do is what I would encourage you to do is go and get your trading plan written and printed and follow it for every trade you want to take in this coming week. Get your trading plan written and printed and follow it for every trade you want to take in this coming week. That's my honest advice to you. You've not traded in a while, so you know, you won't believe how rusty you get in just a couple of weeks of not trading, depending on what you were doing in that period, right? But then just know that you might have a little bit of what might look like a learning curve for you because y- you've not exercised some muscles in a while, so it might take a while to fully get back to full performance, right? But what I can think of that can help you the most is have your trading plan, your well documented trading plan printed and consult it before you take any trade. That's likely to help you very much. Okay, let's go. We got LB Smart. LB Smart just started watching the main course videos. So, okay, I see you're just observing and learning. The key challenges you face is understanding confirmation. Okay, I believe you get help on that over time. What area do you perform poorly this week? Execution. You're trying to fully understand the concept. Any bad trading habits? None. Okay. You will love a thorough video on taking counter trends. You don't need a thorough video on taking counter trends. I can tell you what you need. What you need is you need to go through the videos again and you need to craft a trading plan based on what you understand. So LB Smart, do that. If anybody can help me put it in the group, like you can tag him for me. Chukudi, please help me tag um LB Smart in the group and tell him that I said I want to see his trading plan in the playbook and execution room. You should send it. That's where we need to start. And if he has not come up with the trading plan, then that's where we need to start. Right. So, okay, no problem. 95. Okay, Nitro Spawn. This man, you should get an award for consistency. I think in terms of attending this weekly trade performance meeting, you consistent past me, Seth. Well done. Well done, well done, well done. I really, 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 it's inspiring to see your consistency week in, week out. Even when you have taken losses, even when you have had issues, you've always shown up, and that's what it takes. Besides, it's just once a week. If we're showing up every day, then what's once a week that we cannot show up? How many trades you take this week? You took 8 trades. 8 trades. Why? Why? Why did you take 8 trades? What happened? How many pairs were you trading? What was your net result? -1 R. Now that's the thing. I've shown you guys my spreadsheets before. Typically, I've realized that the more trades I take, right, it is either I break even or I just have like -1 or -2 R. Anything above anything above 3 trades generally is just over trading for me in a week. Now it depends on what you're doing. I'm not saying you are me or anything. I'm just saying that this is what I've observed. 2 3 trades a week max is what helps. You know. What was your net result -1 R? You're testing the water just to confirm that you still just to confirm that you still know what you know. Okay, what you can do is did you get back to me with your full trading plan? I'm not su- I'm not too sure. Let me know. Did you get back to me with your full trading plan? Because we're trying to work on it. So let's maybe we should just chat, sure. Let's chat. Let's go through that. Let's make sure that you have a well-defined trading plan and that you have gathered enough samples to test to really draw out an edge. Cleaning up your entry model. Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. Keep working on it. Keep working on it. So you took this trade. Let's see it. Let's see this trade that you took. You say, what did you do well this week? You were able to grasp the basic understanding of structure and bias and liquidity. The key challenge you faced was exits. Can you can you break down these exits? What do you mean when you say the key challenge you faced was exits? Was it that what happened? Can you break it down for me in the chat so that we can talk about it? Because that's why we're on this call. Okay, USD JPY. This is beautiful. You have this inducement. You have this QM. Bam. Sweet, sweet, sweet. This is nice. So I'm guessing you probably took a lot of losses, and then maybe this was the guy that brought you back to -1 R. Is that what it is? So you said record keeping and unrealistic exits. So these unrealistic exits, what you can do, I've mentioned this over and over again. Overextended my exits, yes. So what you can do, there are 2 types of exits. There are exits, you can say there are exits that you exit on your way out, and there are exits that come back for you. So what that means is your TP, or you can trigger your stop loss. So anything above 3R, you should be trailing your stop loss. That was your first trade for the week. Okay, so what now happened? If yo, don't tell me. If this is your first trade for the week, and let's even assume with spreads and everything, you made maybe this was just 4 or 5 R. So what now happens is that you now took losses for the rest of the week or what? Break it down for me. I want to know. So as I was saying, right, your exits, if you're doing more than 3R, for me, I break even when I get to 2R, right? 7R. Okay, I think sometimes you guys have to be reaching out about some of these things in the middle of the week when it comes to performance. If you make 7 hour is it's one of my rules. One of my In my trading plan, I have something I called restrictions and observations. And I said if I make money early in the week, I should be done for the week so I don't give it back. That's one. Two, if I have a big winning day, anything 4 hour, 5 hour, I should take the next day off trading. I should take the next day off. And I said these things because it's not actually as easy as it sounds. And that's why I say rule. I can learn to follow the rule. But I set these things up because they are just protective measures. You don't want to be in a situation where you're up 7 hour at the beginning of the week, and then by the end of the week you're down -1 hour. That's no. You should have a trailing stop loss even for your profits in the week. Now, not everybody will agree with this method, but this I've seen this to work for me and for most of us that are in the beginner, intermediate trading stage. You want to really monitor your P&L. If I'm up 4 hour in the beginning of the week, I don't want to trade again for the rest of that week. I don't want to trade again, especially if I'm trading a pro firm account. If it was personal, that's a different issue. So, which area do you perform poorly? Record keeping and unrealistic exits. So we've talked about unrealistic exits. If you're really going far with your trade, trigger your stop loss. Trigger your stop loss. Anything that has done 3 hour, that has done 4 hour, should your stop loss should be behind it by maybe 1 hour. Or if you have another method for trading your stop loss, there are technical methods. You can use ATR, which is average true range, depending on how you're trading. So that's up to you. But I really, in fact, this is one of the things that elevated my trading towards the end of last year, because yeah, maybe say Q3, I just discovered at some point that I was seeing massive floating profits, and then I end up going on with nothing, or seeing massive profits, end up going on with break even, and I had to call myself to order. You can't just keep going like this, you know. So record keeping, let's talk on this record keeping. What's your particular issue? Like I mentioned on the group, for me, I use Telegram. I have a private Telegram group I created for myself where I keep my records, or where I keep some records, and then I have my spreadsheets where I like to, have more details about a trade fleshed out. So this record keeping is super important, and this record keeping for me is not just about trading. I also not extend, but I do this with my personal finances as well. You know, I record my expenses every day. Now, it doesn't mean that every day I would sit down and record each expense, but at least at the end of the week or at the end of a period, I'll sit down and review what are the things I've spent money on, which money has come in, which money has gone out, and I have records for these things. Like I've said, if you don't analyze something, if you don't monitor something, you can't review it. So, and if you don't record, you won't have anything to analyze. So it's super important. Whatever works for you. If spreadsheet, if it's Notion, if it's Telegram, whatever works for you. You just reactivated your spreadsheet on Notion, add it to your plan so you can be consistent. Yeah. So the same way we are doing this, right, by the end of the week, add it to your plan. You always record your trades. And for me, one of the things I've even personally done is beyond recording my trades, I have what I call my anatomy of a winning trade spreadsheet, where I detail the trades I'm studying that play out, that I'm observing that play out. I detail them there as well. So why did not put the external range liquidity into consideration, thereby giving back profit? Okay. What was your bad habit? Touching a trade when it's playing out in your favor. The best thing, just use limits. If you make it a priority not to exit any trade manually, except on rare occasions, because and that's the thing. That's why we must even learn to follow rules. Every trading rule will have a day where it needs to be broken. But if you did not follow that trading rule consistently, you will not know the day you need to break your rule. If you have not been consistent in following your rules, if you say, I'm going to do this when I see this happen, if you have not been doing it, you will not know when there's an actual pattern interrupt that you need to take advantage of. But that consistency will help you, because that consistency means that you have seen the same thing over and over and over and over again, such that the day you have a rule that is a rule of yours that you need to break, it is easy to break it, knowing that you are consistent, because you know exactly what you're looking for. Your intuition has been well developed. The way we develop intuition is not by trading intuitively, it's by trading according to structure and rules. When you trade according to structure and rules, you will eventually discover that your intuition develops to a point where sometimes you can pick things seemingly before they happen. But it's because you have been trading according to a rule and a structure. You have given your mind a canvas to work with. You've given your mind boundaries to work with, right? When you talk about creativity, for instance, people will mention that to be in a creative space, to be a master, you have to know how to break rules. But you can't know how to break rules if you don't know how to follow them in the first place. So when you set your rules, you follow them as diligently as you can, such that the day you need to break rules, you will know. You yourself, you will know that today I need to break this rule, and not because I'm a degen or because I'm not trading properly, but because I've attained a level of intuition based on my training in following this rule, that I know that it's not going to serve me in this particular situation. Do you understand? So please, what I will encourage, use limits. Your trade, you should not exit a trade, generally speaking, if it is not touching your SL, which could be trailing stop loss, or your take profit. Generally, you shouldn't exit a trade, right? I mean, when I was still doing SL or TP, I've seen a trade literally kiss my TP like this. You know, all those trades that they will touch your limit, but because of spread, you didn't get either closed on the trade or tagged in on the trade. Like, it just literally kissed my TP like this and started reversing to entry. And because of that mindset, it has built some fortitude in me. It's built some resilience in me in terms of what happens when I'm in a trade. What happens when a trade doesn't fully go my way, when I don't get everything I'm looking for from that trade in terms of my result. So that's that. You reach your performance as a 3. Okay. Do you have any suggestions for improvement in your process? You want to continue to study entry and exit and testing your bias knowledge on every pair. I don't know. Okay, testing your bias knowledge on every pair. Okay, I get that. I get that. No problem. I get it. Just to have more, the more reps you have, the better you get. That's fine. That's totally fine. I get it. Defining your entry and exit styles, showing up and executing trade align with your plan. All right, all the best to you in this week. I've mentioned a number of things. Please act on them. What makes us traders is that we act. What makes us traders is that we execute. Execution is where our money is, right? When I say money, and I'm not even literally always talking money, execution is where our progress lies. For example, it's because you executed review. So execute. And when you make a plan, follow up on it, execute it. When you say you're going to do something, find out how you can do it. Okay, so I guess it's time for me to now fill in my own. Okay, this was your trade. We've checked it. So let me fill in my own. What's my email? Two trades minus 2R. My top 3 trades of the week known. What did I do well? Low frequency of trades. If you guys have any question, you can put it in the chat. If you have anything you want us to talk about as we round up. Low frequency trading. Low frequency of trades, let me say. my key challenges, I think I was not self-aware of the fact that I was tired on Friday. I was tired. I'd already gone out. I'd exercised a lot of brain power doing an exam. And then I came back and I still wanted to trade. Ideally, I should have just stayed out of the market. So the issue there was my self awareness. Apart from the fact that I didn't identify bias correctly. I didn't identify bias correctly. And lastly, um okay, I would say I took an entry without inducement, but what I'll just say is that I discovered that um I discovered that an inducement has to be a compulsory part of my entry. In what area did you perform poorly? um not staying out of the market when I wasn't in an optimal condition to trade. That's Friday. And then technical reading of the market. Why? I think my self-awareness was just low. My self-awareness was low. Low, 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 low. I was tired. Bad trading habits. Yes. Traded without my plan. Traded without consulting my written and printed trading plan, which I've been doing for the past few weeks. And now I've said, no, I have to go back to those simple basics that give me proper performance. How would you rate your overall 3? Even though, yes, I took few trades. NZD USD, the first loss I took in the week, or first trade I took in the week that was a loss, was a trade that I would have taken. Yeah. Gave me everything I wanted to see. But this second trade, so maybe I'll give myself a 4. You know, maybe I'll give myself a 4. Do you have any suggestions for improvement? Always consult written trading plan before taking a trade. Then I can also, what will I focus on improving? My technicals. So what do I want to do? Study videos. I want to study videos, and then do some study charts as well. All right, so I want you to send me a copy of my response, and I'm clicking submit. Okay, so that's about it for this week's performance review. Let me see if I can go back and check. Let me see if I can go back and check. I think if Chukudi is still around, so let's look at some of his long-term performance. Where nitro. Okay. Can you have maybe one live session where you go on the chart, take up your plan line by line, and tick the boxes? Okay. First of all, if you check my channel or check my live trades, you see some of the trades I've posted, some of the trades I've taken, especially more recently. There was one, I think NZD USD, where I did something like that. It wasn't line by line, but yes. Okay, I would do that. I would do that. Maybe if you can remind me next Okay, anytime I have a winning trade, or let me say a trade that showcases what I want to see, right? I would probably do that and show that on a call. So maybe next week, hopefully, if I have a winning trade this week, I would show you line by line what I go through, and then I'll pull up my trading plan as well and show you line by line how I went through the trade. So just remind me if I say next week that, oh, I had a winning trade, just remind me. So I'll pull it up and show you exactly, walk you through exactly. Well, although I can show you now, but since we don't have a specific trade that we'll be considering, that is very recent. But just remind me. I would do that. I'll do that. So I want to look at your stuff. Where are you? Where are you? Nitrospawn. Okay, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So number of trades that you've taken, um, it has generally been in the, let me see what the average is here. The average here is 6.2. Not too bad, but some of these higher numbers were, and here's the thing. So let's look at your stuff together. You took 10 trades, and what you were saying here is, okay, you said three. I want to believe this is 3 wins, 7 losses. I want to believe this is 3 wins, 7 losses. So if this is 3 wins, 7 losses, then this should have been maybe we can only hazard a guess. If it is 3R, that would be 9 minus 7, which would be 2R plus 3 wins, 7 losses. Were they wins of 3R each, or was it, if you remember? So anyway, look at this. Just let me know about that one. We'll come back to it. Look at this. You had 10 trades and you had minus 9R. It was minus 4. Okay, beautiful. And this is the same thing I did last year. When I reviewed my trades, what I saw undoubtedly was that the more trades I took, generally I end up either negative or in break even or just a small profit for the week. So you took 10 trades, you had minus 4R. You took 10 trades, you had minus 9R. You took 11 trades, you had minus 3R. That should tell you something. The more trades you take, the less likely that you're going to be profitable that week. It's just data. Do you understand? It's just data. And that should also tell you that if you take a win early in the week, it is not a bad idea to just be done for that week. You have done well that week. If you take a series of losses, have a limit. Oh, if I take 3 losses, if I take 5 losses in a week, I'm good. Do you get? So, look at, you took 3 trades here, you had 1 hour, or rather 18 hour. 18 hour. This week, you're just on steroids. Now you had 4 trades this week, minus 3 hour. It's fine. You get out of the market. 7 trades, 5 hour. Okay. 3 trades minus 3 hour. It's fine. You get out of the market. 11 trades and you still have for me, a week like this is annoying. Like, for me personally, I feel like it's not worth it. Like, I'd rather take 3 trades and have minus 3 hour than take 11 trades and have minus 3 hour. Because what that means is that I just took a lot of unnecessary trades. Although you said here that you took trades in line with your setups, fine. But if you're taking 11 trades in a week and you're coming out with minus 3 hour, something is off somewhere. Here you say you had 5 trades and then you had minus 5 hour. Okay. 6 trades minus 1 hour. 3 trades minus 3 hour. So for me, I would encourage you, have a loss limit. Have a loss limit. And probably you want to make it maybe 3 minus 3R. Once you're minus 3R, you're done, or maybe minus 4. Because the more trades you take, generally, it looks like you just dig yourself into a deeper hole. And that's not just true of you, it's true of traders all around the world. So you had several trades here that you posted. You said your so what did you do well? Execution on point. After each loss or win, you're able to refine your plan and able to recognize some nice patterns. So that means which is what you realized a couple of weeks ago. That means your trading plan was not yet solid as at this point, as at November, right? You were patient to see your setup form. Your directional bias was on point. You took just few trades. You understood a pattern on the 4 hour that you incorporated into your plan. This again shows that your trading plan has not yet been solidified, and that's dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Because when you want to when you want to measure something, you should have a baseline. Your trading plan should be a baseline against which you are measuring your performance. You can't measure properly if the baseline is changing constantly. Let me take that again. Your trading plan should be the baseline against which you measure your trading performance. And you can't measure properly if your baseline is changing constantly. So imagine they want to do an Olympics race and they say, oh, this Olympic race is a 100-meter race. And then they start running, and in the middle of the race, they're like, oh, okay, let's make this race 400 meters. And the runners have already started running. So they move the finish line to 400 meters. And then by the time maybe the runners are around 300 meters, they're like, oh, okay, you know what? Maybe we should make this race 150 meters instead. So exactly, when the plan is you're always changing, it's impossible to measure. That's why it's best to make a solid plan. That's why I always encourage you when you go through all the videos. Okay, fine. You understand the concept. All right. You like a particular entry. Okay. Come up with a trading plan, robust, that has everything, that has risk management, position management, that has your setup, your entry that you're going to the entry you're going to take, the exit you're going to take. Come up with that and actually stick with it for a few months. You're battling like two or three things by the time you keep on changing your plan every time. You are first of all battling the fact that you are not even, as a person, following your rules, following your plan is not even the easiest thing to do. It takes a while to get into it. So when you now even begin to change that plan over and over again, it's problematic. Do you get? So I would encourage you, yeah, you've been consistent with your executions, you've been consistent with your reviews. What I would encourage you to do, let's work. Let's sit down together, come up with a trading plan that you want to stick to for at least the next 6 months. You're not changing it, you're not tweaking it, you're not incorporating anything at best. And that's the thing about when you want to even change plans, is that if at all anything is changing, it should be very, very small, tiny changes, not changes that um not changes that are sweeping. It's not that you are changing. Oh, you have been trading black, right? It's one thing if you change from very, very dark black to dark black, but it's another thing when you change from very, very dark black to off white. That's a far change. You have entirely changed, the whole schematics of what you're doing. But if you say, oh, my setup, oh, for example, what I mentioned this week, my setup, inducement was optional. But I realized that, oh, based on the data, which is why it's good to gather data, inducement has to be compulsory because the statistics show that it's just higher probability that if an inducement is there, the trade will play out. That's a tiny change. It's not a big sweeping change, right? The other kind of change you can make that would make sense in your context is when you realize that you have been doing something wrong, right? And you find the solution to it, you can incorporate it into your trading plan. You find a solution, you do something, it works, you can incorporate it into your trading plan, right? So you're able to refine the way you see the market so that you can apply the setup on any market. You took trades in line with your setups, that's good. Manage your risk, bias was on point, and risk management. So you're doing well. You've come a long way, and I believe within a few months you should see even further improvement. So some of your issues, impatience, following your plan, fear doing the trade, wrong entry key levels, wrong entries, fear of losing, getting the right buyers, spotting the right entries and exits, understanding entries, unable to decide which key level to play. So you know where your issue is. Where your issue is that you've not defined specifically what you want to see. And I understand it. You feel like, oh, price could play here, price could play here, price could play here. It's fine. Define for yourself which kind of entry you will be taking. For me, I want to take engulfing entries. If it's not an engulfing, I want to take QM. If it's not a QM, what's the third one? If it's not a QM, that's all. That's all. For me, it's either I see an engulfing with inducement or I see a QM. Those are the trades I'm interested in taking. I don't like taking open close entries. I don't really like them because I'm not comfortable with them. Can they play out? Yes. Am I comfortable with them? No. I don't like entries that look like any entry that cannot really be mechanically explained. I don't really like it. So since I found that that's my area of comfort, that's an area I can work from, and not just make it an area of comfort, but make it an area of strength for myself. So this week, let's sit down together. Let's work through it. It might not take a week. It might take more than a week for you to actually get a proper definition of what you want to see. But it's very essential for you if you know you really want to break through to the next level. Define exactly what it is you want to see in the market, and don't do anything outside of that thing. All right. So you had impatience, you had expecting a quick entry by choosing the wrong key level. So that's still impatience. You had fear of losing. Someone messaged someone messaged me this week. He said, "Boss, uh, I'm in deep draw. I'm in drawdown. I'm in serious drawdown." I said, "How many? How many percent?" He said, "Minus. I think maybe -4 or something." I said, "Ah, so people that are -7, -8, what should we be saying?" You know. So the truth is that you are here to actually take risk, and drawdowns are part of the process. If you are not going to be, well, maybe that's where the problem is. If you're not going to be scared, or you're not going to feel anyhow when you are making a whole lot of progress, when your account is on +10, +12, if you're not going to be scared, then you should not be scared if your account is on -8 too. As long as you're doing the right things, that's what matters. You wanted to see results. That was what led to impatience. That this happens, and one of the best things I've seen that still helps one deal with impatience is to make sure that you are working on other things that bring you income, even if they are not even bringing you income yet. Right? Make sure that you are working on other things. If it's a job, if you have a job, work on a side hustle or a side business that can bring you income. Because when you begin to put pressure on trading, or you begin to say, I've traded this account for a long time, it should come through with something, you will begin to affect your psychological state. You begin to affect your psychological. I've had some of that in the past couple of weeks where I feel like, oh, I've been trading this account for a long time, and I'm in drawdown, and then I might end up blowing this account. But what are you going to do? You push through it. You push through it. So you took some losses, and it drastically affected your P&L due to your risk percentage. So I believe you're more stable in terms of the risks you're taking now. All right, fear of losing your account, fear due to series of losing streak. The beauty of prop firms, and why I usually say that, try and trade a prop firm that you can afford comfortably, is that it's not your own money is not so much on the line, right? Even if it's a 5K account you're trading, imagine you personally having a 5K account, like your own money, 5K, and then you are seeing your money reducing $50, $100, 200, 300, you know. But putting down a small amount, quote and unquote, if it might not be small to you, but for that leverage, And that's why I say just make it something you can afford. For me, it just helps because I know that if I don't pass this challenge, I will pass another challenge down the line, and that would make up for any loss that I've incurred. And then the loss that I've incurred is not even real personal loss to the extent of the drawdown I've incurred on the account. I don't know if that makes sense. If I took a 50K account and lost quote and unquote 5K nominal, I didn't lose that 5K personally, you know. So never be scared of losing your account. Just make sure you're taking the right risk, and that if you lose the account, you're able to say, oh, the risks I took were the right risks to have taken. Because in this game, no risk and no reward. So I think those are issues. Impatience and fear are two issues that you've had that you still need to work on as well. Okay, so we already know your issues. We know the things you need to do. Study. Let's come up with a real trading plan. Work on your entries. Work on your exit. Define what exactly you want to see in the market. And then when you have gotten your trading plan, you now need to work on sticking to it over the next few months. All right, I think that's good. We're good for the week. I hope you guys have a nice weekend ahead and a nice profitable week next week. Thank you so much for joining the review, and see you all. Bye bye.